Hello, friends. How is everybody doing? I know it's just me today. Crystal isn't here, so we're gonna need maybe Noman Garden or somebody in chat to keep us on task today. There's no one here to keep me from going off on several tangents that like I usually do. What's up, Arosa? Ooh, a wild Glen. Hello, Glen. And a Rapunzel. Yay, Rapunzel. What's up? So I usually, stall for a few minutes while I make sure that the guests hang out backstage and have time. But since I'm all alone here and I don't even have a Lunacam on today, I'm gonna bring them in. I'm gonna bring them in now. So let's check out who we got. Let's see who's backstage.
Look, here comes an awesome guest.
Yay! Look, we have two guests. We have the wonderful, the amazing, the gorgeous London River and the fabulously beautiful and talented Jim P. Nettles.
I don't know about that whole beautiful thing, but we can give it a try.
Listen, I saw your legs a lot at Multiverse, and you have a well-turned calf, sir.
Why? Thank you. You throw enough heavy objects and things happen, but one's got to work what you got.
That's like the ultimate compliment.
He wore a kilt the whole weekend, and you can hear him jingling down every hallway because of shit. I can't remember what the little what's it called? I forgot the
sporin. My man purse,
Sporin.
my sporin. In
Yes.
fact, it is right here because I was pulling crap out of it because I've spent as much time in a kilt as I do anything else.
Yeah, that's nice.
In fact, Bob, when I got there, I was still in jeans because I was trying to shift out of work mode and had been in some meetings, and I walk in and Bob goes and says, you're upsetting the universe. You must change now. There's a club there's a fan club that actually has a bet as to whether or not I actually own pants.
You never can be seen in pants. That's just the way this works, right?
Yeah, I upset the universe one time because I showed up in shorts and they were like, we're not sure if this counts or not.
I usually also wear my kilt, but we traveled extremely light this time, which was actually not a good idea because we tried to make the promise to ourselves that we weren't going to buy anything substantial while we were there, but that never works out ever.
Yeah,
we ended up with I think it was an 18 by 27 framed picture that we bought.
That's not that bad.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't have really, what would you, so you probably just packed it, just wrapped it up and brought it back that way, or what?
We actually, we asked a friend of ours to mail it to us because I didn't want to, it's a canvas drawing, so it's an actual, it's not a print, it's the original paint, or I think it's a drawing. Yeah, it's a drawing. So I didn't want to try to get it on the plane and have anything happen. And I'm glad I didn't too, because it was a full flight.
Oh.
Yeah. I was crammed in. I'm not a small person. I got pretty wide shoulders, and when I sit in those plane seats, I can sit like this, but my shoulders are still kind of hanging over into the seat next to me. But thankfully, a 5'2", 100-pound guy sat next to me, and it wasn't bad.
Yeah, but it's still when you're crossing the Atlantic, it's not great.
No.
To be squeezed in.
Yeah, no. When we flew back from Prague, when we flew to Prague, we got so lucky. We had an empty seat in our row, so we were super lucky. On the way back, I did have to sit next to somebody, but they were chill too. It was an older woman, and she was actually kind of funny. I actually had the Wheel of Time companion, and she was asking about the book, so I might have gotten a new reader for the Wheel of Time from that conversation.
That's always nice.
Yeah, it is a great series. I mean, obviously, Dragonmount. That's kind of why half the people are here. String just screaming pants. That's okay. All right. Whatever makes you happy, String. Whatever makes you happy, buddy.
Yeah, I anytime I start recommending the Wheel of Time to people, or because I talk about it online or something, and somebody that follows me, obviously for other reasons, is like, maybe I should read it. I always am like, you should. And then I'm like, but how much of your life are you willing to commit to this thing? Because I I just don't want to mislead anyone. I don't want to send anyone down a path that's wrong for them.
That's fair.
It is a little bit of a commitment. I will give you that much. I mean, right now I'm in the process of rereading all of Discworld. So,
I've been meaning to do that for such a long time.
In the order they were written, because I'm kind of going through and watching his development of writing style. But
that's cool. I haven't read Terry Pratchett in like, since before I moved to Florida, so it's been like 10 years.
I got to read Good Omens about every 3-4 years, so
that's fair. That's entirely fair.
Yeah.
The the soundscapes. Oh yeah, those are great. So James, I don't know if you saw any of this on social media, but there's a guy. His name is Jordan. He has done soundscapes for audiobooks. So it's like he did The Lord of the Rings, and it's basically, you take the audiobook. He did 2 different timings for it too. One for the Andy Serkis reading and one for the Rob Inglis reading. And he does sound effects essentially. So, if it's like, Frodo and Sam were walking down the road and it was a cobblestone road, he'll have that sound of like, feet walking on cobblestone or whatever, like lightly in the background, and music and people's voices and things like that. And it's really, really good. He did one for the, and he did a Kickstarter for Wheel of Time, which was great. We did a little giveaway for that. And he gave away the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings one as well for a person. We did a thing where it was like, if you backed during a certain time, we did a giveaway for people, and he gave away a thing for that. That was really cool. So I've been listening to the soundscapes as well for the Eye of the World, because he's been sending them to me so that we can I can send feedback and things like that. So that's been fun too. But I'm interested in listening to it. Like the Rosamund Pike reading is so different from the Kate Redding and Michael Kramer reading. It's like a totally different. It's almost like a different medium. It's almost like a completely different feeling of the series. It's an interesting thing having a different voice actor do it.
I have to be honest, I haven't given that a try because I hate change so much. So I have to just wait for until I feel like my brain can take in different.
Far enough removed from the last time you listened to the Michael Kramer.
Yeah, well, and I just have to be I feel like I have to be emotionally prepared, and I'm not right now. So
that's fair.
There's too much chaos in the world, so I have to wait until.
There it is. Thanks, Aaron, for sharing the link. And I also posted James's link to his website up in our thing. Go check out his books and the Continual Convention. When is the next Continual, James?
Well, so Continual, we run it every week. I was on a little bit of a hiatus this summer, but so it's all virtual: Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. I dropped some of the stuff to X. We're running some other additional platforms. We usually drop anywhere between about 7 and 10 shows a week. I've got 2 shows, one of which is the panel room, which is a lot of the time like the panel kind of stuff you'd find at a convention. We talk about all sorts of writing topics. We've done a couple of hundred of those. I've also got a show that is called Hot Off the Press, which is a new releases show. And we'll have anything from first-time authors, indie authors, up to New York Times bestsellers. You never know exactly who you're going to be on with. I also do a lot of fandom shows. Then Gail Z. Martin has several shows she does with a supernatural fandom track. She's got another couple of fandom tracks she does. Nancy Northcott does a series of comics shows. I've got another show that's also a podcast called Creating Prose, which is more about the business side. They tend to drop. It's getting ready to come back from hiatus. There's this funny little thing that happened called, I was on the road and at conventions and events the entire summer, so I'm a little behind in getting caught up. But Creating Prose will be coming back. That's usually either me doing workshops or doing interviews, things like that too. And so we run a lot of that. I show up over on Go Indie a fair amount because I think you met Joe Compton while we were at Multi too.
Yes.
Continuals online. We do a ton of stuff. Facebook group is fairly active. Come in and hang out. We've done a couple of thousand shows at this point. Sometimes during the holidays, we'll do live things. We've done watch parties like this. And sometimes it's just, hey, what the hell can we do and pull off?
Yeah. I mean, like you get a couple of authors together. I feel like you can do a panel about anything you want.
Yeah, and some interesting panels have happened. And I mean, it's not unusual for some of them to go a little off the rails. But you know, you got to have a little fun in life.
Yeah, this with the friend group that usually is surrounding you and the other authors in that in the group that I know, at least, it'll definitely make for some interestingly weird things for sure.
Well, and what's really kind of interesting is that Continual came out. We started it. I had a network I used to run, which was more about business and technology and privacy and a bunch of stuff. And we kept talking about, because I still do a fair amount of tech driven and business driven events and things like that too. And starting about 2016, 2017, I kept talking about, why don't we do some of this virtually? That way we can see some of the friends and at least hang out. And everybody's like, nobody's going to sit and watch anything virtual.
Well,
and then in 2020, this odd little thing happened. And when that odd little thing happened, Gail Martin was was actually at Disney, and she pings me and goes, okay, she pings me and John Hartness and goes, okay, I did a thing. What do we do next? Well, I did a thing was, she had gone and created the name Continual. We had some artwork, and then I pulled a bunch of the tech together, and we dropped our first shows a couple of weeks later. And well, since then we've done a few.
Nice. I mean, yeah, I think the you know, the thing that shall not be named that happened in 2020 was a huge boost for online content, especially also just people doing stuff from home, working from home.
Yeah, and I mean, seeing as how I have worked from home a lot of my career, yeah, I've got a little bit of the tech sitting here.
That's good.
So yeah, we have fun with it.
Well, I mean, having fun is the, I mean, being able to have fun when doing something that's part of your career is just fantastic. So I'm going to share the link to our watch party for tonight. So we're going to be watching The Addams Family from 1991. So we had like a running list of movies. That how we chose this movie is we had a running list of movies that we were kind of talking every time they would come up in a conversation and people were like, I've never seen that. I was like, that's going on the list. And we just kept adding them to the list. And we put them out on social media. People voted. And we ended up taking 2 weeks off in between our last show and this show. So I took the top two that had won in that vote. And that's how we got. Last week we watched Clue. And this week we're watching The Addams Family. So Clue last week was a ton of fun. And I have not watched The Addams Family in I don't know how long. Do you guys, when was the last time you all saw it?
I watch it like once a year.
Yeah, I started about this time last year.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And Angelica Houston in this movie is just freaking phenomenal. And Raul Julia is like, he was such a good actor. It's so sad. Oh, hello. We have a friend. So Luna is making an appearance. He put his paws up on my leg. So yeah, he's asking to get picked up. All right. Now make sure you go to your bed and not stand in front of the screen. All right. Raul Julia is such an amazing actor. It's so sad. I mean, he definitely died way too young, especially after making, hold on. Does anyone remember the last movie that he made? I'm sure Noman Garden probably does. Let's see.
Yeah, well, I remember now, but we were cheating beforehand. So
yeah, we did cheat beforehand. I mean, even though this movie was garbage, he still looks fantastic. Like, look at him. And he still pulls off absolutely insane because, you know, Raul Julia. But that was, I don't even know what year that movie was. Street Fighter. I want to say it was like 1997, maybe 1999. That was one of the majority of the failed video game movies, because like every video game movie was a failure pre like 2005, pretty much.
But they all deserved to be, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair. I did, and I still enjoyed Mortal Kombat a lot. I think it was just like because it was funny
but it
enough.
was so bad. But
It was.
It's fun. It's fun. But boy, it's a terrible.
It was funny enough not to be miserable to watch. I feel like.
Well, the main thing is how seriously did it try to take itself? If it was not taking itself seriously, that made for some of the best bad movies.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat, like, basically was like, hey, this is a terrible movie, and we made it, and then and they pulled it off. It was like, yeah, they know they're terrible, we know they're terrible, so let's just watch this terrible thing.
They leaned into the shtick of the movie and Mortal Kombat, and like they definitely did not try to take themselves too seriously. I feel like Street Fighter might have, because there wasn't a lot of tongue-in-cheek comedy or any kind of really like nod to the game in any way. Like, it would have been funny if there was some sort of nod to the game, like something that's like just overtly obviously from the video game, but they never really did anything with that.
No, somebody thought they needed to take that seriously.
Though the only we talked about it last week. The only video game adaptation that it wasn't even really a video game adaptation, but Jackie Chan did a movie called Police Story. It was like maybe 1992 or 1993, and in the movie they're having a fight, and he gets thrown into a Street Fighter machine. And him and like the bad guys fall into the Street Fighter machine. And when they stand back up and the machine is broken, they're all Street Fighter characters. And Jackie Chan is Chun-Li. I have pictures. I will share them. And the other two, I think the one guy is Dal Sim and another guy is, I think like Ken or Ryu or something like that. But Jackie Chan as Chun-Li is whoo, boy, like, hold on, I got the picture right here.
I being the big fan I am of bad movies, you know.
Look at that. He's got some nice legs. Look at that. He had to shave his legs too. Well, maybe not. He might. I've never seen that man even with a 5 o'clock shadow. So, but
I mean, he looks adorable.
He does. He really does. It was hilarious. Oh man! All right, I'm gonna share the link for the Addams Family, the watch party. So if anyone is going to join the watch party, I will be sharing it momentarily in the chat. If you were watching it on Pluto again, like we watched Clue last week, so it will have ads and things like that. I will have the timer, and I will try to align the timer and the thing. If an ad pops up for us, I'll try to realign it. If an ad pops up for you and not us, just jump back to where the timer says we are. And I'll start that in a couple of minutes. I'll give you guys time to get that going. And if you want to, watch on your own, you can always just align to the timer when you press play on your own side. So Jim, we know London has read the Wheel of Time series, and we've talked about it to no end. What's your experience with Wheel of Time, seeing as we first met each other at JordanCon?
Yeah, I've read a lot of it. I have not finished the series.
That means you haven't gotten to my character. I have a character in the last book.
I have not gotten your character. I'm aware of your character. Now I've read a lot of them over the years, and it's on my list of, okay, I got to go back and reread the series. And having known a number of the people out of the Jordan family and whatnot, it becomes that thing of, you get to know a lot of people. And so it's on the list of going back to watch. I've seen the TV series, which I thought they did pretty well with the spirit of it.
Yeah, me too.
But no, I mean, it's one of those things that I know a lot about it. It's been a very long time since I've read it.
Fair enough.
It's sitting on I got to go back and read it. The challenge becomes anymore actually just sitting down to read for fun.
Yeah, I mean, like, now you're doing it for your writing, and I know you also do, like, readings for other author friends, and you have the continual, and then you have your own conventions that you go to for yourself. So there's very little time.
Yeah, I mean, when you run a startup, and because we're running a tech startup, and that does a lot of event related stuff, and, partner in a game company, and we've got the workshops company. So, we teaching business stuff for creatives. Right now, one of the fun parts is we're working on my wife's first book for her practice.
Ooh.
And when we were at Multi this weekend, Amanda Makepeace, that's there as an artist, I bought a bunch of stuff for my wife for her, and so I finally got to introduce the two of them, and my wife was like, okay, yeah, she can do the cover. So we're probably going to wind up getting Amanda to do the cover for her, and had a conversation about that. So
that's who that's the artist that we bought the picture from, Amanda. I have so much Amanda's art in my home already.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of her stuff here, and so she's one of the artists I always get a lot of stuff from for the wife. And
I'm going to share her link in chat because I want everyone to go and look at her art because it's amazing.
And
what did I do?
You're sideways.
Sorry.
Well, we were
fantastic.
talking Wheel of Time, so that's on brand.
It's true.
What did I do?
I don't know. What are you on?
I'm just using my phone because I didn't want to start my computer, and that's probably my big mistake.
Yeah, you could just turn your phone the other way. Like if you're sitting at if it's sideways, you could turn it the other way.
Well, but I didn't move my phone.
I know. You probably pressed like portrait or something like that. But we're just gonna sit here and make fun of you. No, I'm joking.
I'm just a chaos monkey.
Or I can just do what I did earlier and like leave and come right back. Actually, that might be the idea.
You could try.
Yeah, I'll try that.
All right. So we'll wait till she comes back, and then we'll get started on the Addams Family. And Rapunzel, did you get your package yet? If you're still in chat. So one of the people that won the giveaway that I was talking about before that we did for the Kickstarter for the Wheel of Time Soundscapes never claimed his prize, so I gave it away again, and Rapunzel won it because she's awesome. The Amanda piece that we got is awesome. So if you go and look at the stuff that she has there, it looks very much like that. Oh, yay! Now you're back to normal.
All right.
Sorry about that. So I'm just chaotic.
You're fine.
But it's baked into the cake for me. So sorry about that.
No, that's what makes having you here fun.
Time, you may as well, and artists. Can't forget Ariel Burgess as well. That worked for.
I love her. So I mean, you can't see it right now, but I have her Maureen picture is above my head right now.
So yeah, I mean,
and I've had her as a guest on the show numerous times.
Yeah, and I've done shows with Ariel as well. We did a panel on Sunday, which is always fun to get to see her and misbehave a little bit.
There's the Ariel picture. It's up there. And then beside that is Joe from Twat. He does Twatcast. Joe O'Hara was also another one of the official Airtime artists. And then the other one is the new cover art from one of the digital books. That's Dan DeSantos, though. Dan DeSantos is freaking ridiculously amazing artist. How do you know Ariel? Just from the convention circuit?
Yeah, I've known Ariel for a number of years, just from conventions, and known her from. I think we actually first met. I don't remember if it was Jordan or Dragon, but yeah, she's always fun to get to see and hang out with a bit. And
oh yeah, she did my logo for my personal website.
Oh yeah, she does gorgeous stuff.
Yeah. And her partner Cooper is fantastic. It was his birthday. Well, we celebrated his birthday this past weekend at Multiverse Con because it was the weekend before.
Yeah, we were talking yesterday because there's a couple things I'm trying to rope him into, but that's a whole different world.
Yeah, Cooper. If anyone here has been to JordanCon, you'll have seen Cooper, or at least his work, because he's the one that runs pretty much all of the video tech at JordanCon. And it was either he or I who was running the live streams at JordanCon as well. Who doesn't have a crush on that Maureen? All right, so now that we have, I think I gave everyone enough time to join the watch party. I'm going to share the link one more time, just in case, and then I'll give everyone a countdown in a minute. But we do have another friend here, though. We're gonna peep on him a little bit. Boop. He is bathing himself right now, but that's okay. Well, we won't say anything. He's not shy. He's a bit of a voyeur. Lunacam is officially activated. Oh, here we go. Let me get it a little better shot. There we go.
I just have too many windows open.
Well, that's pretty much par for the course. She does have a great Demandrid. I also really like her parents. All of her parents are great. Paul does a great Rand. Paul Bialchek was also one of the official artists before. The thing that pisses me off about Sony canceling like all of the contracts and licenses for the official artists is that they've then never done anything with it. They don't have, like, I'm not going to blame it all on Amazon because I don't know. I know Sony is the one that picked up the rights for everything, and then they let Amazon be the developing and publishing company for the show, but they own the rights for everything, like any kind of merchandising and things like that they want. Other than books, other than physical, actual books, they can make T-shirts and whatever they want, and we have no merchandising, zero merchandising.
Well, I thought that's actually one of the things that I talked to Ariel about was how some of that went down. In fact, last show we did was a lot of it was about AI and AI art. And
I know she's very passionate about that, as are pretty much 90% of most artists.
Oh yeah. I mean, and again, because a lot of the stuff I'm on both sides of it because because I do a lot of stuff in technology and I've done a lot of stuff in generative AI and the systems and things that we do. But at the same time, I'm also a creator who's had stuff pulled into, used to train the engines. When I released the latest version of the business book for writers and creatives last year, that was a big part of what I wrote about was about what it is, what it's not, ethical issues. And I've done a ton of shows and a ton of interviews about it. So you can hear me rant about that without having to listen to me do that today.
I'm sure. So that's a panel for another time.
That's a panel for another time. Oops.
That
was not what I meant.
Unmute. Yeah. The generative AI thing, I think it'll end up working itself out in the long run. It'll become a tool that people use, and it'll become more easier to identify. I'm sure they'll make means of identification for that. The thing that I particularly like to see when you see especially these small conventions is when they don't allow AI generative art into their art shows unless it's labeled AI generative art. And they had some problems with that when it first started.
It should not be allowed, but that's
I think so too. Though in the beginning it was very easy to identify because they couldn't do hands at all. Like they would always have like 12 fingers or no fingers or weird messed up hands in some way. All right, we got a bunch of people in the watch party now, so I think we're good. I'm going to give everyone a countdown and then press play. All right, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. And it's playing, and it's the same time on the thing, so we're good to go.
I feel like I should sing the final countdown.
The final countdown. All right. I can hear one of yours audio. We don't want the audio to come through on our end because then we'll get
pulling it down.
Yeah, we'll get copywritten. I've done that once before.
Yep.
I forgot that they opened up with carolers. Completely forgot about that. Oh yeah, and I had a ton of fun at Multiverse Con. So if anyone's thinking about trying out another convention, like I know most of the people here go to either WattCon or JordanCon, but the Multiverse Con was so much fun. The people that run it are great. It was such a diverse and welcoming convention, just absolutely fantastic. I couldn't recommend it more. So if anyone lives in the Atlanta area or doesn't mind traveling to Atlanta multiple times a year, Multiverse Con, I fully endorse. This was always my thing about the Addams Family. It's like, do they viciously murder people, or is it like what's? I never really understood it when I was a kid.
I
So
don't know that we're supposed to.
I did a panel at DragonCon this year on the Addams Family and on
Perfect.
and the Munsters, right? It was the Munsters versus the Addams Family. It was 75%, Addams Family, of course. So yeah, we had a lot of fun talking about that, just Charles Addams and where all of it came from.
The Munsters were fantastic. I used to watch the Munsters all the time on Nick at Night when they would come on when I was a kid. They were and I saw My Cousin Vinny, I think, before I saw the Munsters for the first time, so I never really got past seeing oh shit, what's his name? What was his name? And what's the dad's name in the
Fred Gwynn.
Yeah, I never got past seeing him as the judge. I just always saw him as the judge from My Cousin Vinny.
Boy, he's good in that part, though.
Yeah.
I met him.
How long are the credits for this?
I know.
movie?
Well, it's a '90s movie. This is how they did it in the '90s.
This was practicing for Men in Black, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. And it looks almost exactly like the same fonts that they used in Men in Black too.
Yeah, except this one, at least, I mean, Men in Black, at least you have like movement. This one, they're like, there's some smoke and some words.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Morticia.
Angelica Houston. Oh my God. There's no one else that could play this part. And I know they tried. I forgot they did like a really low budget sequel to this at some point after Raul Julia died. And Angelica Houston was just like, I won't. Like, we can't do it without Raul. And it was bad. I forgot who they got to play Morticia. And don't get me wrong, she was gorgeous, and like I didn't watch the film, but I'm sure she did an okay job. But no one can do what Angelica Houston does in this movie, or in these couple of movies that she's in.
Yeah, really, everyone understood the assignment for this movie.
Yeah. Christopher Lloyd is like thick in this movie too. Like, it looks like he put on weight specifically for the role of Fester. Like I know he could probably be wearing a little bit of padding under that jacket, but even his face is really thick in this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The one of the articles that I was reading about the Addams Family prior to watching it now with you guys, Angelica Houston used to get like crazy migraines by like midday because they had like fabric taped on the side of her face, pulling her eyes back to give that like pointed edge to the top of her eye that she has pinned under the wig that she's wearing.
Oh, that would suck.
Yeah. And she said by like midday, she would have like a migraine every day from filming.
But look how beautiful it is.
I know. She really is just,
But I mean, you've got to love, some of the dialogue, especially in this one, was so tight. So good.
Well, I honestly, like, you can't ask for a better couple than this. As creepy and weird as they are, she hates the son. He's gonna take care of it. Like, this is like the most healthy couple I've ever seen in a movie, probably.
Well, one of the things is, when you look at so many reviews of the Addams Family of the original TV show were talking about the fact of how healthy a family this was, loving, supportive, everything else. Never mind, a little blood and mayhem now and then.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting. A lot of the things that have been talked about with the Addams Family over the years as being a family that is loving, accepting, and really supportive of everybody in the family, right? It's doing what you need to take care of the kids, embracing,
Right.
letting them be who they are. And I mean, never mind a little bit of attempted murder between siblings.
Well, they never
The
accomplish it. And it's a loving attempted murder. Like, you
Yeah.
know.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
they do electrocute Pugsley at one point in the electric chair, but apparently he's just he's
Pugsley is basically can't die. I mean, Pugsley
Yeah.
is
Right.
for all practical purposes immortal.
yeah, that's what it seems like. And the fact that there's like never really a crossword, like even like with the kids, I think there's a scene like later where she's trying. Oh no, it's when they electrocute him. Yeah, it's when they electrocute him. She's like, we have to go to the school. There's like a school event. And she's like, we have to leave. And she's like, but I want to electrocute him. And she's like, well, all right, okay, go ahead. And like, it's like it was just, it's really funny and cute and also horrible at the same time, I guess.
Yeah. I almost wonder if, like, because they are so loving and nice in a way that it's almost over the top. Like, most families aren't this supportive and this just accepting of each other and kind. And it's like they're weird in every way. And it's almost like that's part of their weirdness, because you don't really see, especially in movies, families that don't have drama that's like interpersonal in the family members. So in a sad way, I think it's part of what makes them strange, is that they really get along all the time.
That's fair. That's entirely fair. The oh shit. Is that the tar that's all over the front of the house? Is that the tar that they poured on the on the carolers? Oh. Look at the black tar that's all over.
Oh my gosh, I've never noticed that.
That's so, I didn't notice it either. It's just now. That's funny. It's okay, that's cool. And little things like that, like I don't know why they make me happy, but they make me happy.
I mean, it's all the fun little details.
$1947 to what year did this come out? 1991. So that's, well, if it's 1991 in the film, that would make Fester like 45, 40, 44, something like that.
Yeah, but then when you look at him, he's like somewhere between like 40 and 100 years old.
Yeah, or
they do his makeup
or a
and everything.
corpse,
Yeah. He's like a reanimated corpse.
Yeah. Oh, I also read that during this fight scene, and all the fight scenes they have, because I think they have like two more. They didn't use stunt doubles for the sword fighting. They did all the sword fighting. The only thing that they didn't do is the acrobatics. They said this part, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, yeah, because.
Oh, the mom. Oh, she's the one that hooks up with cousin It later.
Yeah.
And there is one of my favorite lines in this, and which is, I thought she was your mother.
The backstory of like the Addams family and like all of that, like I thought she was your mother. Like it just adds such fun little bits that like, and they leave it open obviously for the imagination because they don't tell us anything. But like when they're walking through the graveyard later and they're going over like all the people and how they died and stuff, it's just so much fun.
It is.
Oh yeah, that's his name. The guy that I would never have remembered that was his name. Their lawyer.
Oh,
yes.
He's so great in this too. It's really the most perfect cast.
Yeah.
And the one thing about it is, and I mean, everything is dark. It's black and white. And when there's color, it's very vibrant. But there is that notion of, you kind of wonder what it would be like if it was black and white, if they'd just gone up straight up black and white.
I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Now, one of the fun things, if you ever see pictures from the original Addams Family TV show and the sets they used and the colors they used, and I forget what set it was that they reused for the house that was already this, everything was garish colors, but to make everything pop in the different versions of grayscale and the colors of makeup they used and all that sort of stuff in the original black and white is just hysterical. If you can ever see the picture, a picture of them on set, and just how, I mean, really garish colors, because it all had to stand out and pop, and the kinds of colors that work so well for black and white.
Yeah.
It really is kind of fun to see that.
I know one of them was especially lipstick. Like they would want it to be like imagine like it was like a deep red lipstick, but they couldn't use red because red wouldn't show up well in black and white. So they would always use like it was like an aqua green.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So like often the women would have these like this weird like deep aqua green lipstick on, and it wouldn't match most of what they were wearing because the clothes still would be normal. Here we go. Oh no, that's the Munsters though. There's the Munsters.
That's the Munsters.
I did have the black and white Addams Family picture in there too. They look so washed out in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was like, Fester looks like there's a glare on the picture, but no, he's biting. He's got the light bulb in his mouth.
He's got the light bulb.
Right, because he's got magical powers with electricity. Yeah.
Of course.
Well,
that's the other
personality.
It's funny because it can mean two things there. Ha.
Okay, they shouldn't let me out in public, but
I love the other thing that I love that they do with this is that they I mean, like, obviously there's some element of supernaturalness going on here, but they just completely ignore it. Just completely ignore it. Especially with these books. Like, no, he doesn't say anything. He just closes that book and is like, okay, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. He doesn't run away like screaming the way every other person would.
Because obviously, I mean, there's money.
Yeah,
that's true. Gold doubloons.
Oh, I love this too because they. I mean, who paid? And he's just carrying it because it's so damn heavy that he can barely hold on to it.
How did you guys feel about the Wednesday TV show? Did you watch that?
I haven't seen it yet.
I like it. I mean, it's different. It's a completely different show.
Yeah.
I like it.
I really enjoyed it as well. I'm getting I had an image, but I wanted to get an image of the whole family because they did a really good. I think they did a really good job with the casting for this, especially because of the way the original cartoons were done, like back in the day.
Yeah, it matches the they did.
And Jenna Ortega was freaking amazing.
Well, she's just so good she's just so creepy.
Yeah.
Isn't she? I mean, she's wonderful. She's just creepy.
She did an amazing job as Wednesday. Like, I was completely believed that she was Wednesday, even with like how good Christina Ricci was, especially when she got a little bit older, when they went to the camp in the later movie. I don't remember which one.
Values, Addams Family
Values. Okay. But man, like, she was really good. So here you go. That's the casting, at least, of for the Wednesday TV show. I like that they took this picture. This is one of the promo pictures they did in black and white.
And I love Luis Guzman. I mean, he's so
hilarious.
Much fun as an actor.
Oh yeah, and he's such a good character actor. He's done so many different things, and like, just absolutely hilarious. And I think also, like, I know I just got finished saying that Morticia could only really be played by Angelica Houston, but that was a pretty good choice there. Not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she's still like, I would say I would pick Angelica Houston first, but obviously she's too outgrown the part and everything.
Yeah. Catherine Zeta-Jones though is just she's also one of those just like very unique beauties. Like, you know, like she's got a very particular look, and it's not like there's no one else that looks like her really. So she was, and you know, she's got a very similarly shaped face. She also pulls off that mysteriousness that kind of Morticia has too pretty well. I'm interested to see if they do more of it. I think they said they were going to do more, but I know they haven't started taping it yet.
It's hard to tell with shows now. It seems like everyone, like so many of them just sort of stop.
Yeah. Like they peter out almost. Like it's like, you know, they say they're gonna, like, look at Stranger Things. These kids are gonna be in their 30s and they're gonna do another show apparently, where they're children.
Wow.
Huh.
Oh, here we go. I knew I wrote down something about Christopher Lloyd for his thing. He wore the same fat suit that Bruno Kirby wore in The Godfather.
I can see that.
Huh.
And
so I gotta get back in because for some reason it's hung up now.
Oh yeah, it'll happen sometimes especially if you have any ad blocking software for if it goes to play an ad.
Well, there also might be too much crap loaded on this machine.
Also, that could do it.
Running at the moment.
The other thing that I had pinned in here about Uncle Fester was originally he wasn't going to be Uncle Fester. Like they eventually figure out he was the real Uncle Fester. He was supposed to be a not the real Uncle Fester for at the end of the movie, but apparently Angelica Houston said that Christina Ricci was the one that suggested that he ends up being Uncle Fester all along.
Well, that's a much more happy ending, isn't it?
I also like.
I think.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think if they had ended it where he wasn't, I'd have been really unhappy.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it's a
the way
whole lot.
There's a degree there at the end of it, though, which is he is Uncle Fester, but even if he's not, it's okay. That's
true.
Well, because they're so accepting of everyone anyway. Even as a family, they have this uptight woman right now that they're tormenting, and this lawyer, and they just completely accept them as well. They just like they meet everyone where they are, which is actually really cool about them. So I could see it turning out okay if he wasn't Uncle Fester, but it's better that he is.
Yeah. That's a great way of saying it. They meet them where they are. I like that. It's a great way of saying that.
But I mean,
that is exactly what they do.
But yeah, I mean, had it not turned out to be that way, though, I think I still would have been really unhappy.
Yeah, I agree. Every time I see Thing running around, I can't help but imagine a guy in a full green screen suit, like with his hand on the floor, running around.
Also, that fun trivia fact is that Cassidy, that was Lurch in the original series, was also Thing in the original series.
Oh.
Unless it was a scene where both of them were there, it was always him that was Thing.
That's interesting too, because he's not like he's not a short person. Like,
no,
for him to be running around crouched over with his hand on the floor like that had to be rough for him.
Yeah, I saw some pictures that they showed how they shot some of those scenes where he's like curled up underneath and.
He's so out of his mind. Oh, I forgot about the horrible accent that she does.
Oh yeah.
Like I like how they say like the whole time that they're stupid. Like they refer to them as very stupid, like he's an idiot, and like, you know, you'll be able to pull this over on him, no problem, and stuff like that. But the scene where he was negotiating money with Tully, the lawyer, he was very specific, like about the money. Like, you know, it looked like he was weighing the money, and like the way he was specific about doing old business and new business. Like the tone of his voice changed a little bit. It didn't seem like he was, you know, as flighty and nonchalant as he was normally for the rest of that scene.
I think
Yeah,
it
it
just
was okay. This is business, and
You got to be serious.
I think what makes them seem stupid is that they actually do kind of, again, I'm just going to talk about how great these people as these characters are, but they are honest all the time. And I think they have like an expectation that everyone else is too. So they just kind of, it makes it so that it is kind of easy to pull the wool over their eyes. But I think they just don't really imagine people trying to take advantage of them, because they would never do that.
Yeah, that's fair.
But they're not, obviously not stupid. And I mean, they can, I don't know, they can like raise the dead and shit. So I feel like you have to have some skills to
for real,
be a member of this weird family.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. They like Morticia must be a very powerful witch. Is my only all I can imagine for that.
well, I mean, Gomez is just all about, let me go live life. Let me go make stuff happen. I mean, if you wanted that model for the entrepreneur, the guy who's going to just go figure it out, he's a pretty good, solid model for that, right? It's it'll work out. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll have the challenges, but it'll all go work out.
Right.
And Morticia is yes, it will. We will make sure that nothing goes awry.
That's very true, Skeeter. Very, very true. The mom in this is hilarious.
Yeah.
Is it Tracy Ullman that plays her in the second one?
I'm trying to remember. I really kind of had wished that they had gotten Carol Kane for that, but now you're making me look it up.
Yeah, I gotta. If you're gonna look it up, I'll let you do it. The only movie that I like Angelica Houston in better than this is Witches.
Oh, but that's a tough. I mean, that is a close call, isn't it?
Yeah. If anyone here hasn't seen Witches or The Witches, 1980.
That's another one I haven't seen in a long time, but that was
This is a really good movie.
Yeah, so Judith Malina was mom in this one,
Okay.
and then Addams Family Values. It was.
For some reason, remember it being Tracy Ullman, but I might be making that up.
No, it was Carol Kane. That's what I thought.
It was Carol Kane. Okay.
Yeah, it was Carol Kane, because I remember just cackling when I saw her in the second one.
Why am I? Oh, I know why I'm thinking of Tracy Ullman. I'm thinking of Tracy Ullman because of her character from Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Oh, yeah.
When she was Latrine.
Oh, that's another movie. Man, the 90s were good. What a great time. So much dumb stuff came out of that decade.
You're not wrong.
Like in a good way.
Boy bands.
Like that's.
Oh yeah, well.
Yeah, well, you have to have.
You take the good with the bad, I guess.
but Men in Tights is actually my favorite Robin Hood, because I don't like Robin Hood that much.
Mine too.
But, yeah, that one, and then the Disney one, and the rest of them, I'm just kind of like, eh.
Yeah, they can keep them.
Yeah. I actually think I would sleep pretty well in a bed that swallowed me like that.
Me too.
Yeah.
It'd be like being swaddled.
Oh, I found Latrine. It's close.
Yeah.
Well, we changed it to Latrine in the 3rd century. Do you remember what it was before that?
Shithouse.
Yeah. good change. It's a good change.
Okay, now you're going to make me have to go back and watch that because I haven't watched that in God knows how long.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. Glenn, what are you doing, buddy? You were right there? Sending in like single letters, friend. If I didn't know Glenn, I would be like, he must be a bot, and I'd click him out. But we know Glenn, and he's probably having keyboarded. Oh yeah, there you go. What is my keyboard doing? Yeah, let us know. Like type something in there to let us know if you're not okay there, buddy. What house does that remind me of? Kind of looks like the house from Beetlejuice too, a little bit. Not Beetlejuice 2, but Beetlejuice. It has that same kind of like, it's not a turret, but it kind of looks like a turret on like the tower that comes out of the front of the house. It looks like half of the Beetlejuice house now that I'm looking at the Beetlejuice house.
Well, I've got to believe that part of that Gothic element they used was because they wanted to get that element to it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's the Beetlejuice house.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's why I was thinking of it at least. That's after Amelia Dietz got her hands on it and put the little side bit on. She's awesome. I wish I could be on set with her when she was like this, because she's so good even as this little of a kid, and like her deadpan is just amazing.
She is so spooky.
Christina Ricci, she always is, no matter what she's doing too. It doesn't even matter the role she's in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she kind of has to play a spook, doesn't she?
I guess.
I wonder if she's spooky in real life. Like, is she? I don't know. I haven't met her, but like, is she just kind of a spook? Just asking rude questions about people.
That's fine. She probably enjoys it. She's done enough. She was typecast for a little while, and she did a lot of this like creepy roles for a long time.
What was it? The Johnny Depp one? Was it From Hell she was in?
Yeah.
No, Sleepy Hollow.
No, Sleepy Hollow. Yeah. Casper. I mean, she wasn't super creepy in that, but she was like, it was another movie like that.
Well, I think her features on her face are so distinct too that it just kind of, there's something otherworldly about her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was noticing that too. Your head fades into the house when you stop moving for a second.
I enjoy it. I feel like it kind of goes with, the theme.
There it goes.
So yeah, I forgot to put the green screen back up, and if I flipped on the green lights, it would green screen it well enough. But I will tell of some of the dumbass things I've done. And there's a list. I mean, enough that my sister did me my own private deck of Cards Against Humanity cards just from dumb things I've done. Perfect. But I was doing a show one time for Go Indie, and part of the problem is I'm wearing a green jacket, so I'm throwing it all off because I was not thinking, and this is what made me think of it right now. Perfect. Is that I showed up, I had on a green shirt, and I had the green screen on behind me, and I hopped in, got ready to jump on, and all I was a floating head in the middle of the company logo. And so then I was like, okay, if I've been this stupid, I took a picture of that and posted it on Facebook. And it took a little while for a number of friends of mine were like, what's the point of that? And then I knew I could count on my friends or frenemies or whatever I want to call them. Yeah, because then they started coming out and posting me as, Sigourney Weaver and Aliens. I was a starship captain. I was all sorts of stuff. But the favorite was they took and posted me as the floating head of the Wizard of Oz between the braziers in the smoke.
That's great.
So I've been using that as my campaign picture for president. Yes, you can vote for me. I'll take your votes.
That's fantastic.
Vote chaotic neutral 2024.
That's always a dangerous thing to wear green on a stream or on a recorded video, because then that ends up happening. But when your friends are artists, it's fun.
And I'm willing to own when I'm stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
But I like this ghost version of you. It's like you can't quite. You're having difficulty staying on our plane. I'm enjoying watching the struggle.
Is he here? Is he not? Is he a bot?
This basement. What the hell? Like, look at this freaking.
See, in the event if I'm ever Elon Musk wealthy, I will be having this house.
Yeah.
100%. If I had that type of money, I would have a ridiculous house like that. Only the very tip of the iceberg would be above ground. It would be ridiculous underground. That's exactly what Brandon did when he got enough money. Like he was like, I did the thing that all nerds want to do: build a bunker under their house with a movie theater inside of it.
You can buy missile silos.
Yeah, actually, in my hometown in New York, in Long Beach, it used to be a World War II Army facility where they housed nuclear missiles. So there's like 6 silos there, and one of them is still dry. The others are filled with water, but you can't get in them.
Yeah, there's some that you can actually purchase and like convert the way you want. Most of them fill with water, at least to like groundwater level.
Yeah,
but as long as like the groundwater is deep enough, still the silo part doesn't fill all the way up. And there's like actually like an off area where people would.
Offices and things like that.
Rooms. And you can and you can actually use you can convert that area into living space if you really feel like it.
What I see a lot of people doing now is buying old schools. Like there's so many TikToks of people rehabbing old schools into houses, or like multiple almost like a hotel, because they change all the classrooms into rooms.
So where we're at in the mountains, there's actually one that's just up the road from us that has been converted into an art school, and they were trying to do it so that there was housing in the building, right? They were going to convert a lot of it into artist housing as well, but the problem was they couldn't get the infrastructure set to be able to handle that many people to make it.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's still doing really cool stuff with the location.
Yeah, there's every once in a while you'll see a church for sale too if you're shopping around.
I used to do tile work, and I was doing tile at a golf course, and the guy that bought this golf course, when he was building the clubhouse for the golf course, all of the exterior wood and slate he bought from churches all over the world. Like, so it was all used like old timbers and old slate and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, how much did that cost?
But that's cool.
It was really cool. It looked really nice.
I think that like owning a church, like buying a church to live in, and obviously making it in your house would be cool.
Yeah,
I feel like the place would be like deeply haunted if it's one of those old churches.
Yeah, probably. Especially if it still had its stained glass windows too. Like if the stained glass windows were still intact.
But I mean, how many like funerals and feelings have been through there? It would just be like a weird haunted place that I would love to live in.
I always feel creeped out in churches. That's okay. I mean, we almost have a cult as it is. So.
Yeah. Never hurts to have your own.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, but like our cult's really friendly and
it is welcoming. We don't have a strict leader.
No.
I feel like every different friend group I'm in has at some point talked about starting a commune somewhere. Oh, here we go. Here's the electrocution scene. I knew.
Mm-hmm.
She does deadpan so good, even at like how old could she possibly be? Like 12, 13?
Maybe.
If that. Although I do have Christina Ricci's IMDb open right here, so I could find out.
You know, we ought to do this for like the JordanCon charity auction, right? Is have somebody sitting in an electric chair to kick it off.
Just kick it off. Who could we put in it? I feel like Jeff or Hopper, the guy that runs the charity auction, would volunteer. I think he would do it. This guy looks familiar too. I can't remember.
He was on the Jeffersons.
Okay, that's probably why I'm recognizing
And
him.
was on, I think, like Electric Company or something like that when I was a kid.
Okay.
Now that
I
I'm
love
ancient,
that I love that they are getting off on bidding here.
Yeah. Everyone's faces is fantastic too. If you look in the background.
All right, Sesame Street, not the not Electric Company.
Oh, okay. Oh, look at the cars. Oh my god.
I mean, I wonder like what happens because they cut away from that auction scene, but you can still hear the audio. It's like, did they get off like
Yes,
in the middle?
yes, they did.
Okay.
Yes, they did. You know they did. Morticia is.
Just in front of everybody. Yeah.
They don't care. And that's where Morticia. No, that's where Morticia's already suspicious, but that's where this is when Gomez gets pushed over the edge.
I love this scene.
Yeah, I like that he's got a whole little outfit on too.
Yeah.
And all of Christina Ricci's outfits in this look almost exactly the same, but you could tell like this one's a bed one. It's like silky a little bit, and it looks, very like flowy and like light, so you could wear it to bed. But it looks exactly like her outfit that she was wearing before.
Well, it's interesting because she's a character that's basically in black and white when everyone else is in color.
Yeah.
Because like even her skin is white. It's just like it's very weird. She looks cool next to everybody.
She still says that, like, even like to today, she'll still, if anyone ever asks her like what was her favorite movie to work on, she'll still say this. She said Angelica Houston and Raul Julia were like her second parents here. They took really good care of her, and like they had a lot of fun on set and things like that. And they listened to her as like an actor. They didn't treat her like a child, she said, which I like. You like to imagine the actors that you like as, good people, but hearing stuff like that is always nice, to hear.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and think about having people like that for your mentors.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God. I mean, you could tell why she became such a great actress herself. See, like, what the hell is going on? Like, how is this? The whole world. I love that they just throw these little things in there. Never explain. This is the whole little person reading the paper. He's got a paper. He's got a paper. He's
about to die if he's real. Like...
It's true. But the newspaper implies that there's news, that there's other stuff happening. Yes. Like, it's so curious about what's happening in this tiny little world. No, that's definitely a lot of. I mean, like, obviously, so we know he's wearing a fat suit, but like, look at his face. Like, that's not Doc from
No.
Back to the Future. He's got some weight on his face. He definitely put weight on for this. A lot of his also, I read a lot of his mannerisms and like little sounds that he makes and stuff like that. That's all just Christopher Lloyd being a weirdo.
Oh, he does good at it.
Yeah.
there's a part of me that would love to see a movie with Christopher Lloyd and John Malkovich as brothers.
That would be crazy. I mean, they look like brothers for sure, especially now.
Yeah, but I mean, think about putting them together in a
like a, I don't even know, one of those movies where it's like they got to go to somebody's like maybe like a third brother's funeral and they have to travel across country together or something.
Yeah, I mean, almost a planes, trains, and automobiles type.
There you go. Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking. Also, great movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he was in Spinal Tap. Okay.
Oh yeah. That's another one I haven't pulled off the shelf in a while.
A long time.
Spinal Tap is worth rewatching.
That's going on the list. Oh man, I just saw another one of my bullet points that I completely forgot about. Apparently Kim Basinger was supposed to be Morticia, but she dropped out of the movie.
Oh, that would not have worked.
No. But she was definitely very famous. Like she was very in the early 90s. So I could see why they would want to pick her, but
oh yeah.
Angelica Houston is correct for this role.
Yeah. There's no one else that could have done this at this time, for sure.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm not sure who else you'd have grabbed at the time. But yeah, Kim Basinger? Oh.
No, I wouldn't have liked that at all.
I'd have just been thinking Vicky Vale the entire time.
Mm-hmm. That's probably. I mean, I could. Tim Burton was originally signed on to be the director, so that may be where they got her from too.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, then we'd have had Johnny Depp as.
Oh yeah, we could have had Johnny Depp as Gomez. That wouldn't have been nice.
No, that would have been wrong. This is all correct, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think even Johnny Depp of those days we'd have had, that just wouldn't have worked for me. It wouldn't have had the charm, I don't think, because he's not that kind of frenetic.
No. I mean, no, he wouldn't have been able to do it. He wouldn't have been able to pull it off. This was just after or just before Edward Scissorhands. He didn't have those chops yet. He was still too young. I don't think he could do it now, to be honest.
Mm-mm.
No,
I don't think so either. Because when he goes over the top like this, he always also comes off as a little bit self-important. Like, so the character becomes kind of selfish when he plays it over the top. And Gomez is anything but. He's just like, I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't think Johnny Depp would be able to pull it off.
No, I totally understand what you're saying. And also like that Gomez isn't at all. Like you never feel like Gomez is like, has an ego. Really.
Yep, he has no ego to him. He's not really trying to upstage anybody. He's just, but I feel like when Johnny Depp does over-the-top characters, they all kind of are a little bit egotistical.
Mm.
Well, and they've also become the caricature of.
Did we freeze?
No, it's still playing on.
Oh, okay.
And the time is.
Sorry, nobody was moving for a second.
Well, I've hit one of mine.
Okay. I thought you meant the movie.
Okay.
No.
Okay, and the time is correct. It was off by a second, so I just paused it for a sec, but it's good now.
The theory of the displacement.
Why does she have a scimitar as a pin on her coat?
Well, she's just as weird and creepy as they are.
I guess. She's got a huge scimitar pin on her coat.
It was the 90s.
I guess. I do like I love how he gets excited at the fact that he's gonna have some sort of mental disorder. Like he's like, oh, okay. Let me Sits down. He's all excited about it. And bubble and collide.
Collide and
So ridiculous. And I think I haven't seen the next movie in an even longer amount of time, but I think if I remember correctly, when she has the baby, he already has a mustache. The baby.
yeah.
Yeah, he's born with a little mustache.
Yeah, the little Gomez mustache. Yeah, and that what's her name from?
And the blonde hair, and she's like, no.
Yes.
What? Oh, right. Oh, yeah. He's like an adorable little blonde baby, and they lose their minds because he's sick.
Pubert, is that?
Idiot.
I didn't remember.
Pubert.
Yeah. That's funny. I love that they kept what's her name in all the films too, as she's from Pitch Perfect.
Oh, I don't remember.
Anna, is it Anna Camp? Yeah, Anna Camp. Anna Camp. She was also in True Blood. Yeah, Anna Camp. She's in this movie. She's in this one, and she's in the next one, and she's
in this one for like a half a second. And she's
as the same character too, because she's got her Girl Scout uniform on and everything.
Yep. It's actually one of my favorite parts of this movie is hers.
Well, it's still that line of, are they made with real brownies?
Or real lemons? And are they made with real Girl Scouts?
Yeah.
Real Girl Scouts, yeah.
I only eat food that's non-GMO and all natural. So is it made with real lemonade? I'm surprised they were making that joke that early in the 90s. Yeah, we said that before. This is the first time I ever noticed it. Was before when we saw it. That's funny that they left that there.
But I mean, it would be hard to clean up and.
Yeah, molten tar. Once it dries, that's why they use it as roofing material.
Right. It's there for life. So.
Pretty much.
But none of the bodies are there, so I think they all escaped.
Well, they would bury them, you know.
I think they all escaped.
I don't know. It's a good. We hope. I like that he goes through like a crisis of like what to do too. Like there's a whole little thing that's happening here with Fester.
Well, it does make more sense that he really is the brother, because then like the subconscious is at least starting to remember stuff.
Yeah. And again, never really go into it, never really explain it. Definitely classic 90s like stuff. Like, I feel like a movie like this wouldn't fly now, where they just never explain anything. Everyone wants an explanation for things now. If this wasn't already a cult classic, like people would be like, oh, well, why is this happening? This doesn't make any sense. Oh my God, that jacket, that suit jacket. I want it.
Oh yeah, he's very stylish.
He's always got the best clothes. No. He does pull off the, Undertaker look decently well, I guess. The contrast of dead and black, his skin tone. Bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Gomez has to really change the way he does his golf swing to hit off of thing too, because look how high the ball is.
Yeah, he never takes fingers off or anything.
I know, right?
Well, that's because he's gonna toss it up.
Oh.
Damn you, Addams! I always feel bad for them at this scene. Like, they don't have emotions, but I still feel bad for them.
They have emotions.
I guess,
they
maybe.
Too. Yeah. I think they do. Because they love their family and each other, so I think they feel sadness or disappointment or whatever. I think that's the thing, is there's such a depth of those emotions that it's the...
That's true. That's true.
They're just not very expressive.
A man, you gotta love when a man can pull off a fur coat like that.
Now, admittedly, I might have channeled this bit of Uncle Fester in me playing with electronics.
I was just thinking that myself. I was wondering where, like, if this is when I started taking things apart. Like,
I love this.
Have you spoken to her parents? Oh, Calpurnia Addams. Oh, she was 11, by the way, when this movie came out.
Oh.
So she was like 10, 11.
Education is important.
Oh my God, I'm viscerally remembering this scene because it's something my grandmother used to do all the time. My mom never did this, but my grandmother used to do it all the time.
Yeah.
My grandma used to do this too.
Oh my
Cleaning your
God.
face it's the worst.
Oh my God. I can feel it on my face right now.
I never did the squeezy cheeks. Nobody ever did that to me, but people, my grandma
Too
used
young.
to just lick it.
Ugh. I could just eat you alive.
Too young.
Oh, he's too young. They talk about being cannibals in this movie at least 4 times.
Yep.
That might explain some of my sense of humor.
I love the way they're watching this. They're just miserable.
And he's wearing the classic suit now too. The suit from the suit that Gomez always used to wear in the original, like the pinstripe suit. I love that he went back. That makes me happy. He's so much better now that he's like full Fester.
Mm-hmm.
He went full Fester.
Full Fester is
You have to go
the
full
best
Fester.
Yeah, you do.
Full Fester.
Always go full Fester.
The I forgot who was supposed to. Someone really interesting. Let me look. Someone really interesting was supposed to play Fester originally and turned it down. Oh, Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins declined to play.
I wonder if he ended up regretting that. Well, I don't know.
He also asked. He also considered. He didn't ask them, but after he asked Christopher Lloyd wouldn't commit until he finished filming Back to the Future. So they weren't sure if the timing would line up. So he was considering Danny DeVito, Jack Nicholson, and Rodney Dangerfield in the event that Lloyd wouldn't do it. Christopher Lloyd wouldn't do it.
I don't know of those. Man, I can't imagine any of those.
No, Rodney Dangerfield. I feel like it would have been too sticky. He wouldn't have been able to pull off. Danny DeVito, really, I love Danny DeVito.
They just drench this audience in blood effects.
Oh yeah. It looks fucking. This is actually like it's a little thin. Don't get me wrong. It's a little thin, but the color is great. Look at this.
Well, it's got to be thin to get that distance. You know?
That's true. There's so much too. So much.
Yeah. There's like way more than anybody that could ever actually.
It looks like an anime.
And the level of overacting is just beautiful.
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
If I watch this, I would stand up with these guys. I'd be like, that was amazing.
or like a Kurosawa like samurai film or something like that. That's what it reminds me of.
Oh.
Fantastic. Yeah. Absolutely fantastic.
You may get wet, you will get soaked.
That's her bedtime story. It's on a plane full of terrorists. It's ridiculous. Oh yeah, the opening scene of Zootopia is also okay. It is It might have been an homage to this.
It could have.
Wow. I had connected that.
The blood, all the blood.
Oh man.
I wonder if she did that. I wonder if that was her thing. Like she was just like, I like if the director was like, all right, crush your arms over your chest, or if she just did that. Like if that was just a her thing. He looks great in that suit too. He could pull off really anything. Like, I mean, like if you could pull off fucking M. Bison, like look at that. You really could just pull off anything. This is reminding me of shit. What's her name from True Blood? The redhead that was in True Blood. She was in Punisher.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to remember what the actress's name is.
Anna Paquin was Sookie. Wall. Deborah Ann Wall.
Yeah.
Deborah Ann Wall. I remember her doing an interview. Jessica. Damn it, Jessica. She was doing an interview and she said whenever they did her makeup, like just her normal makeup before she was a vampire, they would have to bring out their death palette because she was so pale.
Wow.
See, like, look at all these statues. There's just so much there. Like, what is that? What's the strong man? And these people that look like the Three Stooges. Like, there's so much interesting, like, little backstory things going on.
Well, I feel like the Three Stooges people, they were like decapitated all together.
Oh yeah, that did kind of look like.
And then they just stacked the heads up and then made a statue of that.
I could see that. Raul Julia would be 84 if he didn't pass away.
Oh damn!
Wow.
That's like who's it? Someone's in there that I just saw. Morgan Freeman's in his 80s. He's still looking good and acting and stuff. I think Raul Julia would pull it off.
Speaking of people she's acted with, or no, she yeah, I'm trying to remember what that was. Now, I mean, again. Imagine slipping in a Samuel L. Jackson role here just for the humor.
Oof. He would be funny in this. His best movie, his funniest movie to me is always going to be A Long Kiss Goodnight.
Yes.
That's my favorite.
For a sequel.
Me too. Oh, that's already on our list of movies to watch too.
Speaking of people that did act with Christina Ricci.
Which one?
Black Snake Moan.
Oh shit, yeah, Black Snake Moan. I forgot about that movie. That was a great movie too. They were both really good in that.
I haven't seen that movie.
It's an interesting one. It's a good
play. He's getting into full character for the Addams Family. He's going to be in the ball scene. He's a ghost.
I just think that he's kind of like this multi-dimensional being, and for whatever reason, he's having difficulty staying in this one. So we believe in you. Stay strong.
I'll see if I can continue to hold together my material being.
Keep your focus.
Again, the intelligence of wearing green clothes when it's trying to figure out who the hell I am.
I really think it works. So,
Well,
the chair he was in was in The Next Generation? What? Now I gotta look that up. I just remembered. I love the scene. I love how they filmed the scene. When they do the switch mid dance, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even this coat is awesome. Like,
well, I mean, wardrobe for this film is.
Oh yeah, who did the costuming for this? I want to know.
I mean, Angelica Houston wears the exact same thing the whole film, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There. See, yeah, they did the switch. Like I love how they
Mhm.
did that.
Oh, like where do all of these people live? Like this whole family is this. Like where
I
are
imagine
they
there's
just
just
scattered about the country?
yeah. Yeah. That's what I imagine. I imagine there's just like a creepy freaking house. And you know what? Like I feel like that's the thing is like they're trying to tell you like, oh, that creepy house that's in your town with that creepy family lives in it, that's the Addams family. It's another
Oh,
member of the Addams family.
man, I would want to be friends with them. These
Me
people would
too.
be so cool to hang out with. I mean, as long as you survive, you might die, but if you don't die,
That's
it'd be really fun to hang
Look,
out
also
with.
true.
if nothing else, you're going to have some great stories.
Mhm.
And if that is how you die, that's a hell of a lot better than doing it like old age.
Right.
Not wrong. Ruth Myers did costuming. Let's see. Multiple Academy Award winning.
Oh, yeah. She's
Ruth Myers. Oh, she's still going too. She did the new Ghostbusters movie that just came out, which was pretty good. I watched it. I enjoyed that.
The new
I saw-
Ghostbusters movie was scary for a Ghostbusters movie.
It
I
was.
saw the first half of it and then it crashed. I was watching it on the flight and we were on the way over to Greece a couple of months ago. And
That's when I watched it.
I saw it in the theater.
I watched it when we were flying over to Europe for Prague for MalkirCon. There was a Wheel of Time convention in Prague, Jim, in September, August,
Nice.
and we went over for that. Prague is where they filmed the show, in case you didn't know.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of stuff filmed in Prague. I've not done Prague yet. My sister's been a couple of times for a couple of things.
Absolutely gorgeous. Oh yeah, they do film a lot. We saw Arnold Schwarzenegger was there when we were there. Where you going, buddy? Oh, just getting into a different position. A dollhouse version of the Addams Family house. That's awesome.
Now we've got the Scooby-Doo scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I remember when I used to watch this when I was younger, I almost would stop watching it at this point because I would get sad that when Gomez was sad, I would get sad.
Oh, yeah, but it gets better pretty quick.
Yeah.
It gets resolved.
Yeah.
Plus, Gomez being sad, he's actually really funny when he's sad. So
it's true. When he's watching, I remember he's watching like
he's watching
I forgot what show he's
a
watching.
talk show, and right?
And he calls into it a bunch, and the lady like yells at him or something.
Yeah.
Are there two of them, or is it green screen? I can't tell.
I don't remember because I think that they were.
They don't look exactly the same.
Yeah, they're not. I've looked this up before and I don't remember, but I believe that they're actually are. I want to say they were sisters, but old age, senility.
They are sisters. Darlene Levin and Maureen Levin, but they're not conjoined twins.
Yep.
But they are sisters. Yeah, you can. But I wasn't sure if it was one person with like a green screen split and they just filmed her twice, or if it was two people in like a costume. Though I think the green screen wouldn't look as good in 19. Like you could even when Thing is moving around, you could tell that there's like a green screen there. So I don't think it would have been. I think it would have been more evident had it been a green screen. Look at all of them. That chick behind Morticia over her shoulder there looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you got to love the fact that we're at the end of the big hair days.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. No one has
I
a
mean-
giant perm.
So
I feel
Aquanet
like
still
we're-
is holding on.
Yeah. I feel like we're going back to big hair. Men are doing it first though, but I've noticed that with Gen Z, that Gen Z is going back to like big 90s hair.
Yeah.
So I saw on one of my rare forays into the grand social media, flipping through stuff, looking for something. Somebody came up with a video with the splice and this girl going and saying, I don't understand how you did it in the 80s. The hair is just sort of teased out, but it's just not there. And I think it's Dad Bod Veteran comes on and he's like, look, the hairspray you have now just isn't going to cut it. You had to have the Aquanet liquid concrete.
Aquanet. Yep.
I mean,
The hair was hard to the touch.
oh yeah, I remember.
Like it was like a statue of hair.
Let me see if I have the picture still. I went to Disney for Christmas celebration. A couple of months ago, well, whenever it was, December, which is almost a year ago now. Wow. And I put glitter in my beard and I could not get it to stick for the life of me. I had to go and buy Aquanet. There it is.
Yeah, but that took like a couple months to get out of your beard.
It came out of my beard
Really?
fast. It's still all over my house. Yeah.
Okay.
It came out of my beard pretty quick.
Huh.
Though it is still all over my house.
Okay.
Here. There it is.
And that has to be the moment that Fester is Fester.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because like this is coming from memory somewhere.
I used the shop vac to vacuum it off my face, by the way. And then I took a shower. And it was out that night, but it was everywhere in my house forever.
Oh, nice.
This is what made me always want to be able to do the Russian kick dancing. That scene. I remember always trying to do it when I was a kid.
Yeah, there's no possible way that Fester isn't Fester.
Not now, not after that dance. Yeah, whenever I picture the rat tails that the maidens have, I always think of Ewan McGregor from The Phantom Menace, and it makes me laugh a little bit.
And the fact that was the indicator of being a Padawan was you had to have a rat tail.
Yeah.
That's the moment you look and you go, that was the one thing that when I saw that with Ewan McGregor, I was like, you got to be kidding.
Why, George? And yet again, and here's another time where I could say I'd like to run a panel that George Lucas is the worst thing to happen to Star Wars. It's another thing to add to the list.
Fine. I'll see if we can pull that together as a continual panel.
You could talk about it all day long. I love that her and Thing stay together too. I think they're still together in the second movie also.
They are. And don't they have a baby yet?
Yeah, they do. And just in case anyone has joined, I'll post a link to the from the last time I posted the link. I'll post a link to the watch party again.
But the other thing is, I love the fact that it is driving a Thing.
I never noticed that.
Their baby's name is what? In the second film.
It's like it's almost not Thing. Yeah, you're right. It's almost an Abbott and Costello bit. Just like they need one more thing, and it could be an Abbott and Costello bit. She's wearing some crazy things too. Like, look at this. She's got like a fucking toga on almost over that dress.
And I mean, this is one of those things that a film like this, part of the beautiful part is you can get absolutely absurd,
And
it's
that's
still
fine.
not enough. And
Yeah.
it's, I mean, it's there's no question.
No, yeah, no. It doesn't matter what you do. It'll fit right into any scene almost. That's funny. That'd be a hell of a thing for a doctor to see. Just fucking basically like a hairball come out, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure if we'd ever had kids, that's what you'd have gotten.
He plays groveling, like pitiful person pretty well too.
Mm-hmm.
It's the voice. He's got also has a very unique voice.
And that manipulative mom thing.
Yeah. She always frustrated me. Obviously, I mean that's what she's there for, but
Yeah.
Well, you
I
gotta
remember
have,
really
you gotta have the
hating-
villain.
Yeah, I remember really, really hating her.
Yeah, I mean, you're supposed to hate her.
Yeah.
She's a terrible person. Like, the worst.
Oh, the seconds are cut off. My bad. I'll fix it. Because we don't usually go over an hour with our shows, so the setup is.
It's my fault, you know.
Yeah, totally. I'm gonna blame Jim for everything. There you go.
I've been blamed for worse.
Does she have one of those dowser rods to use to find water? Is that what she's holding in her hand? The grandma? Yeah. So she has one of those like dowser, like a stick. Like she's using it too. She's got it pointed out in front of her. Fuck. I don't know. I know Lurch, the guy that plays Lurch in this
Cassidy.
movie. Oh,
Ted
okay,
Cassidy.
okay.
So Ted Cassidy was in Star Trek as well as being Lurch, and he was the original Lurch.
Okay.
And then
but the guy that plays Lurch in this was also in Men in Black.
He was in Men in Black, but he was also in Star Trek.
Was he?
And some other things.
Okay. He was with the guy, the little dude that lived inside the diamond dealer's head. The
Right.
bug kills him in the restaurant when they're in the restaurant.
Right.
Oh, he was in Traveler too? Okay. I haven't seen Traveler in a long time. I like how the gate is its own character too. That was a thing in the original show too, if I'm remembering, right? I think that was a shtick in the original show too.
Yeah,
there was a lot of aspects of the house that were alive in the original show. Oh, he plays such just a dirty, like, con annoying person very well.
And justice shall prevail.
Yeah, don't get sad. Do we have to stop the movie for you, Tom?
Why?
No, you said you.
Oh, so I don't get sad? No,
Yeah.
no, I'll hold it together. I can mitigate it because I found a really fun behind the scenes picture from those scenes when he's depressed. that I'm going to share in a second once my computer lets me. Why aren't you letting me click anywhere? Being weird.
You know, the judge really should have to recuse himself.
Yeah, well, he seems not to really care about being having conflicts of interest.
Okay, the ad that popped up after they finished popping out was injured? Call so and so attorneys.
Perfect.
And they all look more shystery even
Than this guy in this movie.
yeah.
There we go. For some reason, the StreamYard likes to be weird sometimes, and like the upload button gets grayed out on the pictures. But I found this one. That's one of the fake hands that they had there, and apparently he kept wearing it on his head for a lot of the scenes. But they ended up taking them out, and that's the director. That was that's there. Oh, whoops! I clicked twice.
And I mean the fact that it's Tombstone Pizza in the background.
Yes, the gate crying also was depressing. Oh, there you go.
Yep, there she is. Are they made from real Girl Scouts?
She looks exactly the same too. Like exactly the same.
Yep.
Where Addams is. The grandmother legit looks like she's undead though. Like Morticia's pale. Christina Ricci is a little less pale. Lurch and the grandmother 100% look undead. And they just leave the. I like how on the lemonade scene they just left the arsenic and everything sitting out on the table too.
Yep.
Well, you would take it as a joke, right? You'd be like, of course,
yeah, of
it's not
course.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously they're kids and they're joking.
That's kind of a demented joke for kids, but you know, like bad parents, whatever.
Well, I'd have been that kid.
Yeah. Girl Scout cookies. Yeah, because they're not Girl Scout cookies. They're crack cocaine is what they are.
Gosh.
Oh wait. Okay. Favorite Girl Scout cookie, London.
Oh, I don't know. They're called different things. Like with the caramel ones, like they're like,
yeah, with the swirly things on them.
yeah, like they were
Yeah,
caramel delights when I was growing up, and then they were Samoas, and I think here in Florida now they're called something else. I just don't remember. Yeah.
What about you, Jim?
Yeah. See, I don't do chocolate, and
Okay.
I don't do a whole lot of sweet stuff. And the wife, I mean, friends stuff. You buy stacks of the cookies. I never actually see them anyway to know.
Fair. I also don't like chocolate, but my favorite are the trefoil ones. The butter, they're like butter cookies or something like that.
They're shortbread cookies,
Shortbread,
right?
yeah, shortbread.
Yeah, I like the shortbread ones are good, and then there was like, I don't know if they still make them or not, because again, I haven't seen them in a long time. But there was like a peanut butter cookie that was pretty good.
So another Dragonmount staff member and Jordan Kahn person. Actually, both of you probably have met her, and you know her from doing the show a bunch of times. London, Ebony. She before her work schedule got crazy, she used to host this with me too. Some back in the day. Her daughter is always selling Girl Scout cookies, so she always hooks me up.
Yeah, well, she can hit me up. I'm always buying stuff from people's kids.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for. I mean, right now I have a giant box of popcorn for one of my friends. Their kid is like going to cheer competition for middle schoolers, and yeah. I bought $100 worth of popcorn for myself. It's not nearly as much popcorn as you would think you'd get for $100. So
no, it never is with those things. It's
Well,
like when they used to sell the popcorn tins with the 3 different popcorns in them back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things of getting into the business of doing stuff for non-for-profit fundraisers. Really profitable.
That's fair. The sword fighting that they do in this movie is legit, like pretty good. Like it looks like they had to practice a bunch too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Especially because, like I read before, I just scrolled past my note again before that what's his name, Dan Hedaya and Raul Julia did the sword fighting themselves. They didn't use stunt doubles or anything. Our fairs, we didn't have anything like that. But a friend of mine worked at in a movie theater, and they would always bring home a garbage bag, like literally a garbage bag full of popcorn at the end of the night, because all of the popcorn that was left over in the machine would just get pulled out, and they would throw it into a big ass bag and then bring it home.
Gosh, you'd almost get sick of popcorn.
Oh yeah.
We did.
When I was in college, I had a girlfriend for a while that worked at the movie theater. Yeah.
You do. And it also made me never want to use the butter topping again unless it says real butter.
Yeah.
Because it's gross when you see it like before they put it in the machines.
Oh, well, I just want to look at it.
Oh yeah,
then.
it's bad.
Most of the theaters now use real butter. It says like real butter on it. But some of the like a couple of there's a local theater that was here that used buttered flavored topping, and I was like, no, that's the one. No, thank you. That's an old ass TV too. That's not a 90s television.
No, that's that's a good solid early 80s.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of letting us know how crappy this hotel is.
Oh, that's true. That's true. It's even got the actual clicker, like the one that they used to use that fucking use sound instead of UV. Infrared. But that was when remote controls didn't need fucking batteries. My grandmother had a TV like that, but it would also turn the TV on every time she turned the vacuum on.
Well, the fun one was that there was actually, so when I was growing up, we had a hardware store and an appliance and sold appliances and stuff. My parents had a TV in the bedroom that my mom's hairspray can would actually hit the right frequency to change the channels.
That's funny.
That's funny. That's really funny.
She's in there spraying her hair up, and it's just scrolling through channel the 7 channels that were on at that time.
Yep,
Yeah,
back in the good old days.
I don't have any experience with with the clicker that actually uses the sound to do anything. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, my grandmother had a TV that was like that. That's still in her house. They also had like a really old radio, like when radios were like like a piece of furniture. It was big. I love that Lurch has a little pajama, like his little pajamas too. The I'm trying to imagine Anthony Hopkins as Uncle Fester, and it's not working
No.
for me.
No.
I mean, this would have been a lot darker.
Yeah. He wouldn't have been able to pull off any kind of humor or comedy at all with this. Call me.
Now I will tell you who I could have seen doing a different kind of Fester would have been Dennis Hopper.
Okay.
But I think he'd have been a little too manic of a.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? He could pull off kind of creepy funny too. He was decent as Bowser.
Yeah.
There's a movie that I haven't seen in a long time. Fucking the Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that ever.
The old one where John
Mm-mm.
with John Leguizamo. Oh my god,
Mm-mm.
you should watch that. That's. I feel like that's almost a cult classic. Like, probably isn't. Like, you don't really see anyone talking about it or watching it, but like, I feel like it's almost a cult classic. Oh yeah, sorry, Glenn. Yeah, thanks, Aaron.
Yeah.
For catching that. Yeah, it was as Fester. Because when we were talking before, originally Anthony Hopkins was going to play him, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
What's up, string? Oh, okay. Your internet's bad, so you're sending multiple things. Okay, no problem.
When internet goes bad. Next on Vice.
It's just the word internet in a trench coat.
Mm-hmm.
Whatchamacall? Wow, nope, it's gone. Went in my brain and out the other side.
That happens.
Yep.
Yeah, well.
Was there a play for this too?
Oh yeah, there's stage play. It's fun. I've been to it once.
Okay.
Is
That's
it
what
like?
I remember?
Is it interactive with the audience or no?
No, the opening
Oh.
of it they do a little bit, but not the one I saw. I saw it in Chicago.
It would be so fun to do as like one of those melodrama stage plays where the audience.
So, a friend of mine in Charleston on Halloween, there is doing a play she worked on for years, and this is the premiere of it, which is it's a true interactive, capped at like 200 people, based on you join the party, and it's the night with like Lord Byron and Mary Shelley, and so you're actually at the party.
Oh.
Oh, that's
and
fun.
you can and it's called Phantasmagoria. I am hoping I'll be able to get down there for it, but yeah, doing the fully interactive stuff is a lot of fun.
I was at one that it was called the Voca People. The shtick was that they're aliens and they power their spaceship with music and song, but it has to be people singing. So they make it, they sing and they only really speak in song, and they play with people in the audience with it. They ended up like they would go up to a couple and they would ask if they were married. I forgot how they would do that. They would just play wedding bells and then like point at them, and then they'd be like, no. So they would put their hand on like one of their heads and then sing the song that's in the person's head. And like, you know, one of them would have Wedding Bells, and then the other person would have like Gotta Get Away. And then they would do another couple, and like, you know, someone else would have Wedding Bells and someone else would have a different song. So they would switch the couples around.
Ah.
I liked that. That was fun. Uncle Fester being happy is always like when he's full Uncle Fester, he just looks like he's having a lot of fun.
Well, I mean, again, this looks like it had to have been
A ton of fun to film, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Is she Glenda the Good Witch? Is that who she's being?
But I mean, I just love that whole. But he's like, "But I've got you tied up," and it's like she's like, "Later, save it for later."
Yeah. Oh, the hot pokers in the stretching rack. Later, Gomez.
Now we're into the bad green screens of the day, or blue screens of the day.
Yeah. I don't think there's that much they could do about that, though.
Not really.
No.
And we should according to mine, we're still lined up with the timing, so we should be good. And there we go. We got the light bulbs.
I'm at the point of, are they dead? Does it matter?
Does it matter? So when was the first? Erin, was this one of the movies that I made you watch? I couldn't remember. Erin, my wife has not seen so many movies. I can't remember if this was one of the ones I made her watch or not. No.
The one my wife is still not forgiven me for was at the beginning of the great pandemic, and it was about holiday season. And I made a comment along the lines of having seen the Star Wars holiday special from when we were kids, and she was like, there was no Star Wars holiday special.
Oh yeah.
And so I pulled it up on the YouTubes and said, here you go. I have beautiful pictures of her looking traumatized.
That's
having to call her brother, calling her brother in the middle of it, going, really? And he's going, yeah, don't you remember? We watched it. She's like, no, I blocked this trauma out of my memories. And
which is what you should do with the Star Wars holiday special.
Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't watch it sober, but
that's fair. The contrast between Raul Julia and Angelica Houston when in this scene, when you could see like her hand is on his neck, is very stark. You get a good shot of the tar on the house too.
Oh yeah.
I love that they left that there. I never noticed that I don't even know how many times I've seen this movie that they did that. They would like to gratefully acknowledge the consulting services and the assistance of the Lady Clayton in the making of this film. Now I got to know who the Lady Clayton is. So if anyone is still watching, if you're still watching over on the thing, I shut off my watch party. It probably will keep playing for you. And if you just leave it there, it'll start playing another random movie. So that's up to you if you would like to keep doing that. But I am not going to continue watching another movie now because
It's the middle of the night.
Yeah, and I could take off our timer because we're done with that, and then shut it off on my computer so it doesn't go off in a couple of minutes and scare the shit out of me like it usually does. The Lady Clayton is the former wife of Charles Addams, who created the Addams Family. Oh, that's cool.
Okay. So it makes sense that she would have been a consultant
Yeah.
on that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice that she was involved with it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. She was born in 1915 and she died in 2004.
Wow.
That's pretty old.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not like
Ancient, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
90.
yeah, around 90 is pretty
Yeah.
good. It's pretty good. I'm hoping to get to 100.
That's funny. That's fucking funny. That's such a Carrie Fisher move too. I totally I don't even need to look that up. I totally believe that. I 100% believe that Carrie Fisher would
oh,
do that.
absolutely.
So for those who can't see, Carrie Fisher used to put on the holiday special when she hosted a party and was just decided it was time for people to leave. That is perfect.
There's no underwear in space.
Yeah. The one of the things I love about her too, I didn't know this about her until I don't know how many years ago. It was a while ago, but I learned about it well after I was older. That she's like a historic finisher for scripts. When people would have a tough time on a script finishing a script, they would send it to her, and she would help rework scripts for movies. And she's done it for a lot of big movies, apparently.
That's
Yeah, I've heard a lot of talk about her being a script doctor. Years ago at DragonCon, the wife had to go she had Carrie Fisher's books, and she went to go get the books signed. Everybody else has got, Princess Leia dolls and everything else.
Yeah.
And she comes walking up and was just like, "You have my books." And was so happy somebody was bringing in the books. She's like, "Absolutely. They're great. I love them." She's like, "I use them in my practice."
That's awesome.
Yeah, I had met Carrie a couple of times, and was she was always very gracious.
Super jealous. Oh, Penny, what's up, Penny? So Penny, Jim, if you have ever noticed the amazing cakes that appear in the Wheel of Time charity auction sometimes, those are Penny's cakes. That's Penny the Watt cake lady. Those are her cakes.
Excellent. Well, excellent.
Yeah, she makes some amazing cakes. Oh, fucking Carrie Fisher wrote all of her and Harrison Ford's dialogue.
Wow.
in Star Wars.
She was definitely an interesting lady.
Yeah. Oh, Sister Act 2, The Last Action Hero. Wow. River
Okay,
Wild.
I wouldn't necessarily claim that last one, but okay.
It's okay. Not everything can be,
Yeah, that's true.
To quote Bad Santa, not everyone can be a winner.
Also true.
You're not always gonna get a home run. So, everyone's got a last action hero.
She wrote her scene for The Last Jedi too.
Interesting. Gotta be honest, guys. I am fading, so I'm about to, I think, go to bed because.
We're gonna get ready to hop off here in a minute. Now, so London has already done our behind the Dragonmount Studios interview, but we don't need to do one now for Jim because Jim is going to be coming back for Vox Machina, and we're going to do one with Jim when we do Vox Machina, and he has a chance to look over the questions too.
Oh, wait! You want me to actually prepare for something?
Well, hey, no, you don't have to. It's entirely up to you. If you want to be put on the spot, that is perfectly fine. I love that. We did, Sargon Donabed.
Yep.
Yeah, so Sargon's a really good friend of mine, and obviously we know him from JordanCon and other conventions, and he's notoriously bad at reading emails. So I sent him the email with the questions in it, and he failed the test, but he answered the questions really good. Off the top of the head is always nice, but you don't know. Some people need time to think about stuff, so I like to send them early.
Nah, I'm usually going to BS it anyway. Even if I prepared, the script would be. Yeah, forget it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, there's really only one question on there that people get caught up on sometimes. But anyway, before I hop off, I want to share our promo for next week. I mean, we all know who's going to be my guest for next week because it's become a tradition now for the last 4 shows that we've done. But yes, Reverse BLT will be joining me next week for episode 1 and 2 of Vox Machina. We're going to be doing 2 episodes a week because they're like 23-minute episodes or 22-minute episodes or something like that. But yeah, we're going to be watching next week. We'll watch episodes 1 and 2. We're going to talk all things D&D. It's going to be a ton of fun. And I got some really fun guests lined up for you. Not Jim. Jim is going to be...
yeah, he's no fun. He's an ass.
He's an ass, that guy. He has a really nice, well-turned calf, but, just a little bit of an ass. But I have some interesting guests lined up for this year. We'll see if it works out for this show. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. Jim, what are you doing next? Where can people find you next?
Well, you can always come check us out on Continual. You can get there through my site. That's the easiest way to find me. In terms of events,
in the chat right now.
In the chat right now. I could put that in the chat too.
No, I did. It's in there.
Oh, well, why? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so for my schedule this year, technically Multi is probably my last in-person convention. I've got a couple of signings if you happen to be around the Charlotte area or whatnot, and inevitably I got a couple more things that are going to pop up. But for the most part, I'm done for live for the year. But I will be starting to resume live workshops and stuff like that again, probably January. We're working on the schedule for when we're scheduling those and trying to figure out in-person stuff. Right now for book signings, doing stuff like that, probably will not have my first, probably won't do my first show till March.
Okay.
Mostly because if I don't get some writing done, I've got publishers going to be yelling at me.
You won't be able to call yourself an author anymore if you don't get some writing done for a little while.
Well, I've got some stuff that's under contract and people are yelling. It'd be nice to get those out the door and little things like that. But yeah, it's not hard to find me. I actually have got. I'll be in Charleston for Scottish Games in a couple of weeks. Whether or not I'm actually on the field or I'm just showing up to be a pain in the ass. Yeah, actually, we came through really well. The Hurricanes both here. We're split between Charlotte up in the mountains.
Good.
We came through just fine. We've got a lot of friends and things like that were impacted, but we came through really perfectly fine. But yeah, I've got that in. I've got games in November. There's a couple of events coming up. I'm probably doing a signing towards the end of November. And I'll probably do at least one somewhere around here in December. We'll see what happens. There's a couple other things that are going on that if they come to fruition, I'll be making, I'll be showing up because, if I've got an opportunity to go run my mouth somewhere and, to an unsuspecting audience, I'm always going to give it a shot.
That's fair. I mean, I had a ton of fun on the Star Wars panel, so I'm looking forward to maybe doing some more Star Wars stuff or whatever with you in the future.
Oh yeah, we can definitely set that up we can definitely set up a continual run for that. Yeah, the last Star Wars show we did an Ahsoka one.
I fucking love Ahsoka so much. I've been trying to get people to vote for it. It's been on the last 2 polls that we put out on social media, but this time it was last time I think it got second place. This time it was bottom. It got last place. I was sad.
Oh, come on, vote Ahsoka.
I know.
And you need to work work in Clerks there sometime too, just for good measure.
I'm adding that to the list of movies. I got the list of movies for in between there. Yeah, Clerk is on the list now.
And the good news is they finally got Dogma away from now. I've been able to see. I've got several of them, but anyway, I've been able to watch Dogma.
You're lucky because I have it too. I have an old DVD of it, but it's like it's bad. Like the quality is really low and bad.
No, I've got both the DVD and I've got the 10th anniversary collector's edition and the whole little box set and everything.
Nice. So if people don't know, London, she must
Bye,
have.
London.
Yeah, I was just about to post her links. I'll post them anyway in a second. For people that don't know, Dogma was tied up under was it Paramount?
Weinstein Group.
Weinstein Group, and Harvey Weinstein, and he had it tied up there, and he wouldn't give him the rights again to be able to produce them anywhere. But he needed Kevin Smith's sign off to be able to do it too. So they just both were like, "Fuck you," and they didn't do it. So they that's why we've never seen a re-release of Dogma like ever. But now they have it back. So because Harvey Weinstein's hurting for money, so apparently he sold it back to Kevin Smith, which is nice.
And if anybody needs any horror horror UF or the next stuff that's coming out should be sci-fi.
She just messaged me. She said she got disconnected, but instead she's just gonna go back to bed. So she sends love and hugs, and she'll see everyone later. But yeah, I'll post London's links real quick. 18 plus, obviously, links if you want to go to her Twitter. She also posts a lot of political posts, and she's not shy about posting her views, which I love. So go and check that out too.
But yeah, if anybody needs books, let me know. We'll get them signed and ship them out.
Yay! All right, thanks, man, and good night, everybody.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on, Tom. It was good to see you this weekend and hang out a bit as well.
Always, man, and I can't wait to have you on my Vox Machina episode.
Excellent. Yeah, I'll figure out once I figure out what my schedule is and where I'm going to be, I will let you know, and I appreciate it. Awesome. Good to meet everybody and see everybody too. So,
peace out.
Later.